Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Locker Room Sports. Glad y'all for coming by and hanging out with me here on night on college football's Big Talk Tuesday. Good Lord, I think big is a small word that we're going to have to use for tonight. Wow, freshman money. Got some things to go over there, some ideas, some plans for just bring up some good conversation. See what all the gang thinks about it here live here on Tuesday night, 6 o'clock. And we won't be on Thursday because semifinal games, and we'll make a run through those and take a little look at them, see what y'all still think about that. New portal news now. Breaking news as of now. Cam Coleman will be in Tuscaloosa. Cam Coleman going to show up here and be in Tuscaloosa. So, hey, Cam Coleman going to be in Tuscaloosa tonight, and that's the report. That's come from his Instagram. I think he's going to be at Texas Tech tomorrow. So that's kind of the news. Freshman money, as you can see live over here on the screen to your right, today's topics. And, of course, we'll talk about a little bit about Miami and stuff and Ole Miss, get your ideas and see what y'all think about it. Hey, while you're over here and live on the page, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up on the page. And if you're over on YouTube, just go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And you'll know when I go live, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday at 6 o'clock. Again, this Thursday we won't be live because of the game. It's going to be on Thursday night. So Cam Coleman coming in, flying in hot, live on the scene. Right now, Auburn is 69th, on recruiting right now in the lineup. They have 33 guys out with 11 players coming in. Alabama has 17 out right now, and they got 3 guys in. 11, part of their 11 at Auburn are probably half of them are all. What's going on? Good evening, everybody. Talking college football stuff here. Y'all come in and hang out with us for a little bit. Some of Auburn's players are going to be guys from USF. They got the quarterback Brian Brown today. Byram, 4-star guy. He's a big guy, very hard to bring down. He's big around the hips. He's a hard runner, runs downhill, reads defenses fairly well. His legs get him out of a lot of trouble, especially in an AAC conference when he's, they play North Texas and those kind of teams down there. That's his main conference. So we're looking forward to that. And also, I'm going to take a check-in over here at some of their receivers. I think they got Kroger, and a Singleton guy also at Auburn looking to add up. I mean, guys, they got 33 players out. So they've got to add some people. Offensive line woes and troubles for Auburn and Alabama, man. Bama, like I said, they got 17 guys out right now. They've got the running back Smothers kid. He was a 1,000-yard rusher from North Carolina State. They also picked up the Woodson kid that I talked about, I think one day, I don't even know, maybe Sunday. He was a Virginia Tech guy, team captain. I watched highlights on him, talking about Caleb Woodson, linebacker from VT. He's actually the same size. He's 6'3", 220, and I think Lawson was 6'2", 220, so he's maybe an inch taller. Says they both run 4.6 40, so size and 40 times are equal to the same. But I tell you what I liked about him a little more. Deontay, he seemed to struggle a little bit sometimes in coverage. I didn't see him. I don't know if the knee injury really hampered him a lot mentally. Maybe it just kind of felt like he just couldn't get it out of his head, maybe. I don't know, like he's thinking too much and didn't seem to have a lot of knockdown passes and stuff. Well, this Woodson guy, watching some film on him, he knocks the ball down a lot. He's got some interceptions. I like the way he roams the field. I also like the way he reads plays. Not caught out of position a lot, and, their regular schedule's not, a poo-poo schedule's not probably as tough as an SEC schedule, but he's playing guys to the competition level that he's playing against. I'm just watching film on him, I think Woodson's going to be okay to add his linebacker there. Yeah, right there on the right, bro. Today's topics: freshman money, portal news, and semi matchups for Miami, Ole Miss, and Oregon, Indiana. And so I like that addition with linebacker coming from VTech. Bama, I think he's a good addition. Auburn replacing those receivers are definitely part of the pie that Golish is going to have to add. Man, he's really going to have to step up and play his best game because Auburn's schedule, and we'll go this summer, we'll go over Auburn's schedule in depth a lot. Their first SEC game is, I think they get Florida and Vanderbilt at home, and then I think they go on the road to maybe Texas. Then they come back with a week off, and then they go to Georgia. Crap. And then it's 6 more weeks in a row of SEC teams. Talking about Auburn's schedule is going to be really, really, really tough. Also, some more additions for Bama. Defensive lineman, the Tompkins kid. Watched a little bit on him. I like his size, his speed. He seems to search well when finding, the right run play selection on defense. And some positive things that we could run across and see about guys that, want to play, and want to come to play at Alabama because they feel proud to come play there. And I think this guy does from just hearing him talk. There were some problems in the Indiana game of the idea that little stuff like their defensive line stuff, like not sticking to the guy's hip and Lawson getting out too wide on plays and letting their tailback, cut inside and having too big of a lane. He made the tackle, but he's already got 6 yards up the field, those kind of things. And watching Tompkins and Woodson, I know film's going to show, probably highlights show good stuff of them. So we're just going to have to see. So Bama's got 3 guys in, Auburn's got 11 in. So they're tic-tacking right along. Now, main probably topic here, a good roundtable question. I'd like to put out good questions for the board to see, what y'all think. This is a comment-based show. I mean, it drives on your answers and your comments, and there's no wrong answer. I mean, your opinion about stuff. We can have higher educated opinions about things of, how much you know about a topic. Sure, that's going to vary, in your opinion to be a more educated opinion, but everybody can have an idea of what a topic could be. So topic is this freshman money for high school kids coming out now, and you've seen on the thumbnail there for YouTube, those are 2 top 27 class guys. Defensive guy plays out west, and then the quarterback for the 27 class, the Haven kid, Elijah, everybody's after him. Everybody's looked at him, and I think he's got offers from everybody. I know Bama and Georgia have offered him. But what kind of money is there going to be for these new freshman kids coming in to teams that they want to play? These freshmen want to come in and play. They want to play immediately, but are they going to be able to hang around and be able to keep them to show next year the recruits of the freshman class from the next year? Hey, come here. If you're a freshman, it's okay because we're going to play freshmen. Is that the right way to do things anymore? Just to play a bunch of young freshmen so you can get freshmen from another class, from the next year's class? Does that make sense? It don't seem like that's where things are headed. That don't seem like that's probably the best idea of winning percentages or whatnot, because there's just absolutely a fact of the matter that we'll take Indiana, for example, 26 seniors. And Ole Miss, how many guys they had come in on their portal? I think Indiana had 30. Ole Miss had 25. And Miami also had 25 or 30. So are you going to be able to play these young players so you can have good recruiting classes? You know, that's the question. So if you got an answer, hit the comments over there, hit the thumbs up while you're here before you head out there. I sure would appreciate it. So that's the talk of the day. We'll put it over here in the comment sections. Is it the best to Oh, there you go. So it's a good idea to play these freshman guys, just, you know, to tell these other teams, hey, come over here and play. We play freshmen all the time. Make a clip of that. So that's kind of where we're at. What's up, Zacharias? We got the hot question here. We're going to put it up on the screen. Is that the best way to play freshmen? Is it the best idea? Is you know, we're going to play a lot of freshmen this year. Alabama played a lot of freshmen this past year. So this new class coming in, what do you do? I mean, you want a good recruiting class, I guess. Or are you just going to save your money and just, you know, buy a bunch of old men? I'm telling you, that's not going to work. In the long run, I'm telling you right now, it's not going to work. But this is the question. I'm telling you, you still got to have good young talent. You got to get them to hang around and develop them. But is that the way of the things are going right now? It seems like everybody's trying to jump on this trend, and NIL stuff's going to slow down too, because I promise you that these universities are not going to keep paying these freshmen, you know, $1 million, $2 million, $500,000, $750K to come in and set a year, wait and develop. And they spend all this time with them and pay them money. And then when it's time for them to get out there and produce and play, see, buddy, I'm gone. Bro, we just spent a year with you and developed you like Bama's Keon Keeley. Keon Keeley at Bama, they spent 2 years with this guy, really all of last year, getting him to gain a little bit of weight so he could jump over and play that bandit position. I'm gone. So you wasted resources and time and money on these players just to leave. So what are you going to do with these young players, man? What are we going to do with them? Because it's going to dry up. They're going to stop paying these young guys so much money. They're going to spend the money on some of these older players. Now, you're going to have good freshmen to develop something. They got to start somewhere. That's the thing. You have to compete in the summer camp, and whoever shows the most potential, play them regardless of age. Yeah, and I think for the most part, most coaches do that. And, you know, Bama plays some young guys like last year, Red Morgan, and I think Zach Ulico, Zay Brown, and those guys. And he beat out Jones for a position during the year. They wound up benching their older guy and starting he was a sophomore this year. Wound up starting him over that. So, you know, what's up with that? That's pretty crazy. So, I mean, if you're just going to keep playing young guys just so you can have a good recruiting class, then there's got to be a middle. That's what I'm trying to say. There has to be a middle somewhere. So let's go over this little story here. We'll hit this little news topic real quick. Brandon Sorsby, Cincinnati quarterback, will be now at Texas Tech. Reports say that the 5,600-yard passer and 1,000 yards rushing over his 2 seasons with Cincinnati, totaling 63 touchdowns and 16 turnovers. Sorsby was a top 10 QB in the season when the QBR and the PFF grading earned him second-team All-Big 12 honors from the league's coaches. They went 7-1. You could yak, don't talk back, blah, blah. He got $5 million. Talking about Sorsby going to Texas Tech. And here's another little funny little tidbit of news. He also gets, now listen to this. Talking about Sorsby, quarterback headed to Texas Tech. He also not only gets the $5 million, he gets $10 million up front, and he gets a 1% stock option of the oil company that funds the team. Campbell, it's his last name. It's not the Campbell soup guy. It's Campbell's oil guy. Sorsby is going to have 1% stock in Campbell Oil for life, not for as long as he's there. 1% of the profit from there, whatever margin and what dividend from whatever they got going on, he'll receive 1%. So 1% of a million is, what's 1% of a million? 10,000. 10% would be 100,000. So is that right? So forever, somebody do the math on that. So for every $1 million, he'll get 10K. So they may make $200 million a year. So that'd be, that'd be 20 grand, or that'd be 200,000. Wow. For life. Every year he's going to get a dividend from this Campbell Oil Company, Sorsby, for being a quarterback. And he's not great. I mean, he's not that good. I mean, I watched him play. He's okay, but geez Louise, what is 1% of a 10,000? So 10% of 1% of 10 million is 100,000. So if they profit 10 million a year, which they'll make a lot more than that, he gets 100 grand. So for every 10 million, he gets $100,000. Wow, wow, wow. Sorsby. Good Lord, man. Ty's better than him. Speaking of Ty, I hadn't heard any other news about him committing to head to the draft, or if he's coming back to play at Bama another year, or if he's, there's these rumored talking people out there at, college sports stuff that he may be interested in going back around home and play for Heupel, which their offense is better. They run the ball pretty well. Bishop had pretty good rushing yard. I think they led. There was a time during the season, y'all hit me if I'm wrong, Tennessee, if Ty's thinking about going there, they were leading in all categories, I think, in the SEC for passing and rushing. I think. I know early in the year they were, because I was going through all those NCAA, who's number one defense and offense and all that, and they were up there. So if Ty is interested in that, wow, holy crap. What a mess that could be. Let's see here. That was Caleb Woodson, Virginia Tech. Zach, what do you think about the linebacker, Woodson? Let's see what else we're going to do here. Kind of talked about Sorsby. Other top quarterbacks in the portal, Sam Levitt, 2 from Arizona State. 3 is the Drew Mestermaker. He's at Oklahoma State now from North Texas. Byron Brown was 4 in the list from South Florida. He's at Auburn. Josh Hoover, TCU to Indiana. The Rocco Beckett from Iowa State to Penn State. Gunnar Raiola at Nebraska is in the portal. DJ Lagway from Florida's in the portal. No answers on him. And then how about Kenny Minchie from Notre Dame? How about Kentucky? I know y'all don't pay attention to this portal stuff like I do. Kentucky has done pretty well. They've picked up a tailback and a receiver. I think they got a lineman from Oklahoma. Number 10 finished out top 10 quarterbacks, kid from Harvard, Jaden Craig's going to be at TCU. Any other SEC quarterbacks? What about Bach, man? Deuce Knight from Auburn is nowhere to be found yet. What about that, Zach? What about Bach? Going to Georgia Tech as a DB. Guys, Bach come to Alabama. I covered him in high school. Clay Chalkville, state champion. He played Wildcat quarterback. Beat Saraland, beat Hollywood Williams' team. Why would you leave Bama? Came as a DB. Threatened to leave last year if you don't move your wide receiver, so they do. And he don't get any playing time because he just couldn't get in the rotation because the wide receiver room Brooks wound up being pretty good. Horton wound up being good. Ryan was on the struggle bus this year, and Cuevas stepped up to be a good tight end. Bama's got 7 tight ends on the team right now. 7 tight ends. And like 12 offensive linemen. And then Bach takes off to Georgia Tech. He's going to be a DB over there. Why even leave then? Just stay with Sab or Hubbard and all them guys, graduating and stuff, I'm sure there's some of these that are so silly. An Auburn guy, their receiver, Perry Thompson, he was okay. Auburn had some pretty good receivers. Cam's, he's in Tuscaloosa right now. By the way, I broke that news starting the show. Cam Coleman in Tuscaloosa live right now. But Perry Thompson at Auburn takes off and freaking goes to Minnesota. What is he doing? Guys, what are we doing? What are we doing? You're leaving. I don't listen. I know you get a new coach. It ain't like Golish it ain't like he's trying to run the freaking Notre Dame box up at Auburn. He throws the ball. They run a pretty good RPO, and you got a quarterback. Even if Deuce didn't leave, you're going to get him. And now Brown's there. They can move the ball around. Yes. Cam is in Tuscaloosa probably within now to the next hour. I posted a while ago. It was on his Instagram. Why would – you're a starter. I don't understand starters leaving schools and thinking, well, I'll just bail out of here and go somewhere else and start. I'm just I'm just kind of – why do you want to kind of start over and kind of be like and want to pack up and leave. Why do you want to pack up and leave? You're just going to take your ball and go play another sandbox. But you have all your toys in this sandbox. You're an everyday kid that plays in this sandbox. And you're just going to go to another sandbox. Because somebody come over and said, hey, that sand over there in that other box. We got a water hose over here. You can get it wet and build up better structures because they got wet sand over there. Well, then you get over there and water, and they did, but the water line's broke. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just so enamored by these young men that they're getting advice literally from their family. And it's not all about chasing the bag. Now, some of them's getting less money. I think Bach was close to $1 million at Alabama. To sit on the bench and watch them play football, you're getting paid to be a fan because you wanted to play wide receiver because I want to be like Travis Hunter. Could Bach be Travis Hunter? I'm not going to say no. And if you don't know, if you didn't watch him play high school, and I watched him play for 2 years, I don't know, man. He could. I'm telling you, he's an athlete, man. He's small. I think Travis is a little taller than him. Man, he's an athlete. I'm just so – but he knew, man, going into Tech, and they sit down and talk to you like, well, we're going to we're going to put you at DB. And he's like, I switched at Bama. I don't want to be a DB. Well, that's all we got here. Well, just go back then. Go back and play DB. It ain't like they had a coaching change. You know the people there. You're buddies with all those people on the team. You grew up in the state there. I'm curious to what Bach's connection to Georgia Tech is. Does he have some family over there? Or he may do. You don't know. He may have some family around Atlanta. Very confusing. Cam Coleman in Tuscaloosa live right now. He's good, man. I sure did watch that boy play a lot of high school ball, Clay. He literally, guys, just go watch highlight film, HSA championship game in 24. He literally run Wildcat the whole game as a receiver, just played Wildcat in the state championship game and won. Literally, he just run Wildcat the whole game. They couldn't do nothing with him. Saraland, who Ryan played for, they're good. It's one of the most amazing things I ever seen. And when he came to Bama, I thought, wow, they're really getting a super athlete. I don't know I don't know. But now he's just going to go over and be DB. Like I said, like Perry Thompson, Auburn. He's going to Minnesota. You left Auburn. You're going to be a wide receiver, a big part of the team right here at Auburn. Getting a better quarterback. Getting a quarterback coming with a coach that he's had for years that can run his offense, Brown will be able to run Gullish's offense like that. And why would Cam leave? Why? Now, they said he had a meeting with the coach and his family and without his family. And supposedly Golish couldn't sell him on the idea of staying in Auburn. No sense. What? Just catch the ball, man. It's not. What do you mean sell him on the miss my? I just didn't like the vision that Coach Golish had there for the team. The vision is to freaking win a championship. What? Just catch the ball when they throw it to you. Show up to practice every day, work out, and get bigger and stronger. What? You're freaking 20 years old. What? The only vision you need to have is what class you need to schedule for your spring classes coming up, and have the vision to show up to practice every day. What vision? What are we doing? These kids are trying to act grown. And now these young guys, main topic we started with, freshman money, these freshmen are going to lose money from this idea. This whole thing, these older kids are coming there running it because before they're going to start paying these freshmen, they just go pay a guy that's been playing for 2 years. And everybody's not Indiana. Guys, he had these guys for 2 years to come over to Indiana, played last year, lost to Notre Dame in the playoff. That's 3. This is their 4th year. Some of them had already been there. So he's got 4th and 5th year seniors, 26. 26. Everybody don't have that. And when you go look at their schedule, when they're playing Indiana States and Kennesaw States and Rice and Maryland, Rutgers, UCLA. I mean, 7 teams of their 12 is garbage. And the other ones are like, the other 5 is like, I'm just kind of counting Penn State as a tough game, and it shouldn't be. But that's their schedule, and Sig can see it. Sig Nanny's not dumb. He's just playing a character on TV to get attention. But now, let's go to the next topic right here. Transfer portal news listed by On3 right now. 2026 class, college football teams, portal rankings. Indiana was 1 with 8 in and 1 out. NIL value $4.8 million. Texas Tech at 2. Ole Miss was at 3. Oklahoma was at 4. Louisville, Houston, Oklahoma State. This is portal class. Arkansas and A&M was 10. Bama didn't have a lot to go out. And Auburn's got 33 out right now. Bama has 17 out. But I'm going to drop a little news for Indiana fans. Here's some breaking news. You want guys that are proud to be where they are. You want guys that are not feel like I'm at Bama because I'm a 5-star and I'm owed this because of my abilities or because of a rival's website bumped me from a 4 to a 5 because I chose Alabama, and that does happen. Yeah, I don't know why he left. Vision. You're freaking 20. What's your vision, bro? Go to class and freaking play football. Vision. I know. You don't leave a team for. I don't see. Even if the coach leaves, I mean, get over your feelings, bro. It's goddamn millennial bunch, man. Not all of them, I know. But feelings about what? What are you feeling? How about what is real? In real life, your boss gets fired all the time, and you just get up and go to work the next day. They live in this fantasy world, man. These kids doing this college football crap and getting paid before they even do anything. So, Indiana fans, topic here, and we'll do some semi-talk, semi-final matchups. Yeah, there's no meeting in the middle. Like, hey, here's what we're going to do, and we would like for you to be a part of it. Nah, I'm out. It sounds selfish to me. And with Indiana, they had these guys come in, felt unappreciative, overlooked, and underpaid, and just blue-collar workers, and said they got something to prove. Some, maybe these 17 Alabama players that are out and considered by a tweet from Clinton Dix, which works in Alabama now as player development. These ones are leaving. They ain't no production from them. Don't worry about it. We got this. Don't worry about them. Trust me. If you got any questions, I'm here in my office. That's what he said. Now, if Dix is Alabama, he true blue, came there, started there, or graduated there, got ring there. He said, don't worry about it. But those Indiana players had something to prove. And these Bama players may feel like just being there, they've already proven something just by showing up. Because from ex-players that I have watched, I do this every day. I know you can't believe it. I make time every day to stay in this thing and look at it and keep up with news and look at podcasts and get news about topics to bring up that I find interesting. I hope that you find interesting. Players at the Rose Bowl said, ex-Alabama players, they come out with no energy. They were really flat. Not all of them, but a lot of guys seemed kind of walking around. Not a lot of verbal energy, them talking to each other really. They just kind of showed up and come out and played hard for a little bit. You noticed it. We all seen it. And Indiana adjusted a little bit, punched back some. Bama said, heck with this. I get my money. I'm done. So when you get guys like Caleb Woodson, Hollywood Smothers, the Tompkins kid, maybe they are 3 or well, they're 4-star guys. 3-star, 4-star guys. Maybe they come because they want to be there. They come from North Carolina State, Virginia Tech, and USC. And those are I know USC is hard to say last name, but they're USC is just they've been in a rough spot, man. And they're hungry. Maybe they're really hungry. And they want to come show out. And they want to come show the world what they can do. And they're thinking, wow, what an opportunity I'm going to get to go be on TV a lot I'm going to get to play against good competition and really see where I am and create some value for myself, for my name, my image, and my likeness. Those kind of guys, that's what SIG got. That's just the kind of guys that you want to come play. And they wind up locking in and playing together. And what Saban was so good at, he could take a 5-star talent and humble them and get in their head so much that made them think they have to prepare for Chattanooga the same way that they're going to prepare for Georgia. Because it don't matter who you play faceless opponents. And everybody's heard that line, and it's corny, and Saban said it for years. It's part of the process. Toughness and resiliency and those kind of things. Because complacency is what kills drive. It kills your progress. And when I heard this team, I hear any team say, well, it's us against the world. It's us against the world. No, it's not. Right then, Coach should have nipped that in the bud. He should have stopped that. Guys, I seen on somebody sent me a clip the other day, y'all in the locker room talking about us against the world. Team meeting right now. Everybody up. Heads up right here on me. We're not against the world. We ain't against nobody but the person that's standing in your cleats right now. That's the person you're against. Because I'm challenging you to go be a better version of yourself every game, every quarter, every freaking minute, every snap of the ball. Be better than you was the snap before. That's who you're challenging. We're not playing other teams. You're playing you. That's what gives you drive and ambition to want to just keep turning the knob. They're trying to turn the knob all the way up right now. We got to be champions. We played Alabama. We got to win it this year. That brings me to the next topic here. Alabama fans, clip this. If you don't want to be like Nebraska, like Miami was a few years ago, I'm talking about prominent football teams that I watched growing up that beat the freaking tar and feathers out of everybody. Nebraska beat everybody. Miami beat everybody. I grew up and I watched it. I loved Alabama, and I loved watching Bo Jackson play. But Nebraska and Miami, and some of Florida State too, can't knock them out of this. Bobby Bowden's a great man. Seen him speak at an event one day. Great coach. If you, Alabama, don't want to be those teams that got left behind, Nebraska still can't catch up. Miami's just now getting there. You've got to stop throwing shade at the coaches every minute. If you don't win the national championship, then it's just BS. We need to fire the coach. You just throwing all this negative crap and putting all this stuff on media and putting unneeded pressure where it don't need to be. How about you get yourself better to be a better fan? How about you look in the mirror and think, what can I do to support my team and be the best Miami fan I can be? If you don't like it and you want to fire the coach and they won't stop buying their stuff and don't go to no games. I told Auburn fans that back in the season. We're sick of this. Auburn fans have the best fan. They have a fantastic fan base. Do you see their stadium is packed out constantly? They keep showing up. They've eat shit for 10 years. Stop going to games. Stop buying the hoodies. Stop buying hats. Stop going to games and giving them money. Stop it. So, Bama fans, if you don't like it, if you're a Bama wagon guy, jump off as easy as you come on. Because it's not real hard just not to watch. If it dreads your life so much and drowns you in just deep, cringing depths, you got a problem in your life that you need to see counseling about. Because if you don't think I understand about football, college football, especially in the South, you're crazy. I'm nearly 50. I grew up in the 80s watching Alabama and Auburn and like teams I just told you about, Nebraska's and Miami's. Doc Brown is not coming to get Saban and rushing back in time. And I got a spoonful of bad medicine that you're not going to want to swallow right now. If Nick Saban come back this year, his record's probably not going to be any better than DeBoer's is. It's different now, guys. We talk about this all the time. Well, money's changed it and the portal's changed it. Saban dealt with it as long as he could, because those last 2 years they were going through a bunch of trouble. And people just give Nick the old pass because he's the greatest to ever do it, because he could assemble a group of young men and get them all marched in one direction. But stop being fools or you're going to turn Alabama into freaking Nebraska. Be a fan and cheer the freaking team. And if they lose, they just lose. They're not going to win every game. It's kind of like this, guys, and we'll move to the last piece here. It's kind of like this. Show of hands in the back. Anybody done any hunting, fishing, something? Somebody watching, if you're from around here, from between Huntsville to Auburn and from North Carolina to West Mississippi up to the Kentucky area, some Florida. I have people watching from all that area. Somewhere in there you got fishermen or hunters. If you go deer hunting every time and you shoot a deer, that's called what? That's called shooting. That ain't hunting. Hunting is the part of looking for trails, scouting the area, knowing where they are, knowing the seasons, knowing when the does move, when they don't, what's the moon phases. You're hunting, not shooting. So being a fan, expecting the freaking team to win every football game they play, that's not being a fan. That's just being ridiculous. That's being way crazy. Nick Saban wouldn't have any better record than they would right now. He don't have depth. That's what the portal's for now, because these 17 guys that just bounced from Bama, about 14 of them are second team guys. They ain't the only ones I know that played was, I guess James Smith played. And then the Cole kid, he took punts back. But all these other positions, man, these are second and third team guys. You're losing depth. So your second guy is not as good as the first one. Why do you think Kirby's smart? Partly, it's on them too. Why ain't nobody talking about Georgia? They're the SEC champs. They're the ones waving the SEC flag. It's not Alabama. It's Georgia. They lost. Ole Miss got 30 guys from the portal. You know how many Georgia got in? About 8 or 10. Because Kirby just keeps trying to play these regular old Ford truck driving boys. Come in, play them young for a year or two. Ole Miss has got the same thing like Indiana's got. I got a bunch of 23-year-olds just played a year or two and come over here to play their last year or two. Fifth year seniors. Kirby is the one that we all say was the prince that came and let loose to go home to coach his Bulldogs. And now you have all these other small princes and from Dan Lanning's to Cristobal's to Golden to old Signetti that was there when AJ and them was there. He was a wide receiver coach. This is philosophy football 101. Bama fans, if you can't just be on board and be a fan, you're going to make your team like Nebraska. They still show up. They sell that place out. They've had sellout crowds forever. But what happens, they've down-talked their fans for so long, their players. Nobody wants to go there anymore because they don't want to hear the BS from the freaking fan base. Because they're insane. Because after Osborne left, they just couldn't put it back together. Like when Steve left Florida, well, Urban come along. He did well by them. But you may tell you why Saban had a better time. You're saying, well, Matt, this Alabama can bounce back. Bounce back to what? What do you want? What do you want? If you're going to fire the board, who you going to hire? Give me a list, right? And hit the comments. Everybody's watching. We got a lot of people that are watching. Hit these little buttons right here. Start typing a name. Give me a name. Give me a list of reasonable, realistic names that you're just going to go hire right now. And when you fire him, you're going to fire his staff, and you got to pay all their contracts out. This is not like the players. The players can just hop around. I get $1 million here, and I'm going to transfer. I'm going to go here and get 1.2. I'm going to transfer again, go over here and get 1.1. They ain't got to pay nothing. The school they go to don't have to pay crap. That's why the coaches get to move different than the players, because somebody's got to buy the contracts out. So who's going to pay out DeBoer and Grubbs and now Derek Nix to Freddie Roach, O-line coach, he needs to be gone. Kapilovic and running back coach, Coach Robert, Saban hired him 2020. No clue how he's still there. Be realistic. Don't turn Alabama and freaking Nebraska. And the positive side of it, what helps Saban so much that you don't even realize, and I ain't heard nobody else say this. That's why you hit the thumbs up while you're here on the page, because I'm going to drop some knowledge on you. When Saban come, Zach, how long had it been since Gene had left and won one? 93 to what year did he come? 03? And I mean 06. Yeah. Because that 10-year span or so, 25 years, from the time Gene left till Nick got there, was anybody here a part of that? Do you remember Franchione and DeBose and Shula? I do. I think there's a lot of people that jumped on. That's 2010, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, probably picked up some more fans. I think we may have picked up some Auburn fans along the way. That was just kind of sick of what they were doing. Then, Auburn went through they're going through a spell right now. It's bad. Guys, do you realize what kind of mess they're in? It is, I don't know why anybody, that's a tough job. And then I'm going to say it one more time. Have you seen Auburn's schedule? You're going to take the job. You just lost 33 players, and they lost 25 back in the other portal before. And then you got to go play the NFC South schedule. Be a fan of the team or don't, because I was there. Bro, when we was in high school, ain't nobody wearing Alabama stuff to school. Were you crazy? In 1987, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 90, those are the prime years from the time I was 10 in 87 of me watching ball. I watched the Chicago Bears a lot because my grandmother had a restaurant uptown, so we had cable up in town, and I'd walked in there after school. And if she stayed there a little late, well, the Bears would be on late on TBS, Chicago. That's who I watched a lot of, him or Barry Sanders or the Bills, Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, and those guys. Because Alabama sucked. Nobody even talked about Alabama. So you just either a fan or you're not, but don't turn Alabama and Nebraska. People just need something to gripe about because their life's miserable. So just, if anybody should grumble, I'll listen to the Auburn fans grumble a little bit. Yeah, what they are going through now, and they still sell their stadium out. They ain't even got an offensive line. Bro, they ain't. It's bad. They're just trying to be positive, like Zach Blackerby and them. They're locked on Auburn just to keep people watching, because it's just, if you just talk about what's really going on, it's just all downhill. Alabama won 11 games. They got invited to the Rose Bowl. No, they didn't win. So what? So what? That's better than winning 5 games and not even making a bowl game. They improved from last year. Was Grubb's offense called well? Nope. Most people don't like it. And he will be there next year because you're going to give a guy 2 years. You got to give him time to work through some stuff and maybe get what he wants. And he knew. I talked to a coach today, and I talked to him about them watching film on Indiana. Most of the coaches, DeBoer and them probably knew watching film of Indiana, probably told each other, guys, we have a slim chance of winning this game. We'll have to play really well. Defense have to be in position. We got like hats on hats, offensive line, jump to the next level, hitting the linebackers, be able to run the ball some because you run the ball. Why? To run the clock. So the clock runs. And you got to give Ty time to throw the ball because we're probably going to need about 20 to win this game. And I think 28 would have beat Indiana. I know when you say, Matt, they scored 38. Bama put in their second team after halftime. They quit. When it went 24, they was done. They was done at halftime, half of them. Some of them I heard was done before the game. They just walking around, didn't care. He's a knight. Kirby's a knight. I should have used that. That's better terms. They've been successful, but Kirby's really is. He's the guy, man. He's the new king. He's carrying the torch for SEC, man. They're the SEC champs, and they got bounced by a team that's had 32s come to the portal that's playing with 23-year-old men. And I know if you're 19, you're a man too, or 18. But playing in 1 year or 2 year college football, and let me drop some more news on you. Football's not as good as it used to be. Man, what are you talking about? You see all these athletes. Tell me an athlete that looks like DJ Fluker. Find me one. Go find me a Jonathan Allen type guy. Go find me a Rolando McClain type guy. Go give me a Javier Arenas. Give me one of those guys. Find me a tailback anywhere in the freaking nation in college football right now that's even close to Derrick Henry or Najee Harris. I'll wait right here just like this. There's not. They ain't. The best running back we probably had, Bishop at Tennessee, was good. Didn't do nothing against Bama. What about Hardy at Missouri, man? I think he led the conference. He had 35 yards against Alabama, and he had 50 against Georgia. What are you talking about? Where's these awesome players at in college football anymore? Where are they? Because football's not as good. And because high school coaches have and are right now failing these kids because they don't want to coach them because they're scared they're going to quit, and they got good athletes to play these quarterbacks. They don't know how to play and set their feet. They don't read defenses. They're just athletes with the ball in their hand every play. And they're not all. Just hold it right there. Not all, but a lot. And it's trickled down. Finally, it's meeting up with college. It's met up with the NFL so bad that we had to take a freaking 40-something-year-old man to come back to the Colts to play quarterback. That's what you had to do. That's where we're at. Football is way watered down what it was 10 years ago. Find me some of those guys. I named them, and if you name them and you give me stats and say, Matt, you're wrong. Right here, blah, blah, blah. This guy stood up. The Heisman winner didn't even lead the nation in passing. Hell, Ty Simpson threw for more than him and had better QBR half time and threw less picks and played better teams. He won the Heisman. It's terrible. They ain't been a real Heisman winner probably since, I don't know, I guess Devontae, when Slim Reaper won it, maybe I don't know. I mean, he was just so good. His yards were great. It's just got to where you just, pick the best guy on the top team. Where are these players at? I'll just name just like a regular old player. CJ Mosley. Where's he at? Where's somebody like him? Go find his stats and find me a guy, some guys like him. Well, Matt, they wasn't everywhere back then. They were just Alabama. Why? Because Saban had them all. Why? Because they wasn't no portal. That's why he was winning. Because nobody else had all the talent. He was hoarding it. That's what Bayer did. Because that A on their chest, they knew if they just went and set the bench at Bama, they could go, a lineman could go second round, which is good. Second round for lineman, that's good. Crazy. First round's usually for some psycho crazy left tackle or like a Domikong Suh, just a generational talent. Where's he at? Where's Domikong Suh players at now? College football is not as good as it's been in the past years. Where's guys like him? You got this. It's just the product is not as good as it was. And I know it. And most of you, if you think about what I'm saying, just write it down somewhere and think about it again tomorrow sometime when you get in and go look up some of these players when you have free time at work tomorrow. Let's see. What about that guy? Rondo McClain. Where's people like him at? They ain't none. Reuben Foster's. You can't play like that. By God, they didn't play like they did when Saban was there. They played with violent aggression. You can't play that way the more you get thrown out of the game. I've seen guys not even targeting get thrown out of games. You can't play that way. It's just like with the rules of basketball. Everything is a foul. And John Morant and those guys, these young cool cats now, you send them back to play with Charles Oakley and Dennis Rodman and Charles Barkley. Are you kidding me? They would kill that young guy. He wouldn't stand a chance getting none of them. Bill Embiid and Rodman, he comes down through the lane. You're not scoring no points. You're getting destroyed. You better hope you're a good free throw shooter because you ain't going to shoot a lot of free throws. You better hope you can shoot. Now it's just free throw shooters. So Bama fans, don't turn Bama into Nebraska. Just support the team. And we can gripe about it amongst each other here on this, and I gripe. We too. But when we're out there, just be a fan. There are things that need to be fixed. You don't think they know that? None of us listening in here or watching that'll ever watch, or the other 1,000 people that'll watch this through the week, know any more about Alabama football than Kalen DeBoer. None of us. You ever coached college football? Nope. I think DeBoer played for a national championship just a few years ago. He knows what to do. It's year 2. For God dang sake, chill out, man. You're not winning every game. All right. Lastly here, some of y'all may knew this already, and I just found it out here about an hour ago. John Harbaugh fired at the Ravens. John Harbaugh is no longer the coach at the Ravens. What about that? I don't even say it. I know what y'all are thinking. Zach, I know what you're fixing to say. Harbaugh. I got to bet Bama get him call plays. That changing up around here at Bama. So is John Harbaugh interested in coming to be an offensive coach at Bama? Matt, are you crazy? Would you take him? Why, yes, that's crazy. Who wouldn't? Of course he would. Is anybody interested in the top, say, 10 or 12 high school teams right now for rivals? Beaufort, Georgia, St. Francis in Maryland, IMG Academy, Florida, Edna Carr in New Orleans, Bishop Gorman, Nevada, Carrollton, Georgia at 6, St. Marguerite Catholic in California, St. Thomas Aquinas in Florida, Centinela in Cornell, California, North Shore, which is in Houston, Texas. DeMathis Catholic in Maryland. That's about it. Any others that we know here? De La Salle, California is number 16. Thomas County Central over in Georgia, 18. St. John Bosco, 19. Maitre D, they dropped all the way to 21. Grayson High School in Georgia is 23. Clay Chalkville, we just talked about them. It's where Bach played at. In the nation, they're ranked 25. Wow. Now, let's look at the old, John Harbaugh out at the Ravens. So look at the portal tracker. Type in portal tracker, click on the SEC. We'll start with Bama. Anything new? Strayhorn, the freshman lineman, knew about him. He come from IMG last year. He just didn't get in the rotation. They probably paid him $250,000. He left Michigan and come to Alabama. It's a new pickup. So we probably paid him a little bit to come on up. He's he played at IMG, like I said. So we'll find out. Alabama adds offensive lineman. Breaking news right here. That's why you hit the old subscribe button. Here's Caleb Woodson. Just talked about him. He's official, like I said, from Virginia Tech to Alabama. And that's about it. That's the newest of the news. Of course, we got Hollywood, Summers, the Smothers kid, running back, 1,000-yard rusher, NC State, and then the Tompkins, defensive lineman from USC. Let's see about Kirby Smart. Kirby has, from Georgia to South Carolina, they lost a defensive lineman, the Thomas kid. Bo Hughley, offensive tackle, leaving. Sophomore. Jaden Harris, the safety, went to Kansas. I didn't know that. Linebacker out. Here, look at some other Georgia players. Anything else here? Running back Robinson the second. Sophomore, just couldn't get in the lineup. Tight end Sperling. He's out. Cornerback Harris from Miami is leaving Georgia. Okay. Let's see. Arkansas's picked up a few guys too. The Shull kid leaving Auburn today. Tight end from Michigan somewhere. From Howard Benson football transfer. Okay. Auburn picks up a freshman tight end from Martin Luther King School up there. Overall ranked at a 3-star guy, which he could be great. He just didn't have money to go to a bunch of camps up north. I mean, he's from Michigan, so from Detroit. Auburn adds a tight end. Ashton's at Florida State. Does Lagway go to Florida State? I mean, have y'all seen that too? And Ashton will be the backup. Yeah, Robert Woodard, their linebacker. He's pretty good, 4-star guy at Auburn. He's at Missouri. I don't understand. I just don't understand. I don't understand. I know the kids are like, well, I'll tell you what it is. Perry Thompson, Minnesota. It's got to be about a budget. They've overpaid for some of these guys, so they're expecting to get the same pay. And then Golish puts the tape on. He's like, well, y'all won 5 games last year. Keep paying, $700,000. How about $500,000? Oh, hell with that, man. That's bull. Well, do you want to be here or not? Well, if you don't want to be here, you know what they say. If they ain't wearing crimson. But I was talking about Auburn. But Auburn, Georgia, Bama, LSU. Let's see what old Kiffin Train's got flexing on. What's Kiffin flexing on? He has a wide receiver, Brown kid, the junior. He's bailing out. Then they picked up a running back, the Gainey kid from Charlotte. They got a defensive lineman, Green, coming from Clemson. Offensive tackle, Williams, freshman kid from Texas, headed from LSU to Tennessee. Boise State safety, the Benfield guy, he's headed to LSU. Now, this is what was Jawan Johnson. He played down there at Lafayette Christian Academy. I thought he was pretty good, man. And he's leaving LSU to go to Syracuse. He's going to New York. What? What are we doing? What are we doing right now? Oklahoma's done okay. Ole Miss. Shamlis is looking to had another year. Going to try to fix his contract, whatever. Simpson is he's going to leave, but he said he'd stay through the playoffs. And I just did read something else a while ago. I thought I clicked on that. Where did that go? That Charlie Weiss Jr. Let's see here. There it is. Top defensive tackle. Abergorgible lands at Texas Tech. Texas Tech is throwing money everywhere. Guys that got smoked by Oregon. Yeah, they won a bunch of football games, but I'm telling you, listen, I'm telling you, I'm old and I've seen a lot of stuff, and this is not going to – it's just not going to pan out. They can buy players, and they come here and compete for a year or two and have fun, make the playoff, make a run at it, but it's not sustainable to just every year. There's no return on their money. And some of these people that's got hundreds of millions have to spend the money because they'll have to pay tax on it. They can make charitable contributions to the collection at Texas Tech, which is what Mr. Campbell's doing with his oil money. You can look up his yearly gross. I've looked into that. He makes like $200 million a month or every quarter. I mean, it's like McDonald's money. But if they don't, it's just hard to get a guy just to come and play for money, just to be a mercenary, to play for a year or two, to learn the system and come in, play a year, and maybe the second year, then you start really getting it. Well, then they're some of them, they're bouncing. They're ready to go again because it gets hard. They think Sig just bought some players and come in this year and play. These guys have been with him, man. James Madison for 2 years and then 2 more years. This is not – he went and bought some players, 25 in the summer. He's number 1 in the country right now. That's not what happened. But casual fans think that's what happened. That is not what happened. It's not. It started in about 21, 22. Some of these guys, because I went and looked at some of their players. That receiver that caught the big catch to make the first touchdown for Indiana, that kid's from Faith Christian Academy in Tennessee. He was born like 02. It was the year before my son, so he's 23. See what I'm saying? He just didn't go buy some players and go win games. It's still the same thing that wins football. It's still they had to be disciplined. They still had to show up, and they still had to sell out to each other because they've been together. Just buying a defensive tackle here and there, or buying some guys. Yeah, it's not a big deal. 20 players. I think you could probably get 20 players because now, remember this now, everybody may have forgot. This coming year now, 26, there's 105. Walk-ons are gone. It's 105 scholarship players. Not, what was it, 95 before? Or was it 85? It was 85. It's 105 now. So you got a little more room. That's why USC's got the number 1 class because they recruit like 35 guys. Now, like 20 of them are 3-stars and some 4-stars. That's why Bama's 2. They only got 20 players, but they're better quality players. The USC got quantity. That's the difference. So this top dog here, transfer Mayton, Ibirogba, Ibergo. What these names are? Who are these people? I ain't know, Zachy. You know any Ibergo? He began his career at FCS at Georgetown, 6'3", 300 pounds, redshirt junior, 21 tackles. It's just telling a story about him. Texas Tech signed the number one player in the ESPN portal, Cincinnati transfer quarterback, so on Sunday. So they got the number one quarterback. Then they signed this number one D tackle. So we'll see how it works out. We'll see how it works out. So what about I think we picked the games here. Kind of like Miami to win it, and we kind of like Miami to win and Indiana to beat Oregon again. Right? Is that what we're thinking? Oregon, Indiana, the 9th, 6:30. Two Big Ten matchups, number one versus number 3. The only loss Oregon had was to Indiana. Indiana's favored by 3.5 right now. ESPN likes Indiana by a lot. Y'all know the stats. We ain't got to go through all that. Who do you like? 1 versus 5. 1 versus 5. I kind of think Indiana can beat them again. It's hard to beat a team twice, and you know what? I don't think nobody's done it this year. Georgia didn't do it. Neither did Oklahoma. Now, Miami, I wrote down, talked about their ends, and they can get after the quarterback. But here's the thing. The only thing that worries me a little bit about the strong key of Miami is their defense and their defensive linemen, being able to get after these guys. The thing that worries me, there's Mr. Bacon. What's up, son? Here's the thing that let's talk about your Ole Miss Rebels. We're pulling for them, too. I hope they win the whole darn thing. I'm definitely pulling for them. The thing with Miami and their ends, this Matador, it could go both ways. So I'll word this nicely here. Shamless is probably not, I don't know. Georgia didn't have a good pass rush. Miami's going to have a pretty good pass rush, man. That worries me a little bit. But, Mr. Bacon, I don't know if Miami's ends, if Matador and those guys have seen a quarterback like O'Shamless here and that little tailback Lacey and them. Have they seen some of this quick shiftiness? Because if their O-line can just – Ole Miss's O-line can just keep them honest, I think 28 will beat them. Now, people's been saying, well, who's going to show up? Maybe that old Carson Beck shows up. What about him? Got those picks and stuff and don't manage the game real well. Time clock runs out on him, forgets he's got timeouts and stuff. If Ole Miss can mess with his head just a little bit, I think that'll be probably they're going to have to get Beck off of routine because he don't throw the ball well when he gets off routine. If they can just mess with him just a little bit. Okay, you Georgia fan. How about them dogs? Right, second. Yeah. I don't know if Miami's seen some guys like them. Well, they do it at practice because that Tony, he's a football player. He's gonna give them a lot. Man, those are the kind of guys you want on your team. Indiana, Oregon. We got a feeling that Ole Miss Miami is going to be the game, but you know what's going to happen? The Indiana Oregon game probably wound up being the better game because everybody kind of thought Indiana and Alabama would be a good game, but now before the game kicked off, I posted, and Zach, you can back me up. I'll pull it up on here and show you. I said, I just hope we score. Without a run game, there's no way we can control this game. I just hope we can just put a score on the board. I just didn't have a lot of faith in them, man. They're just not championship, and they come out flat like that too. So, all right, let's get off here. Thank y'all for coming by on a Big Talk Tuesday. College football's best dang sports show going today. We'll if the game's good, like Thursday or Friday, I may come on one of those nights and we'll talk about the games. It's all about you guys. Thank y'all so much for hitting the subscribe button. Always hanging around. Applecast, wow, what a great audience. We've had so much growth over there. Appreciate you guys over there too. Spotify, iHeartRadio, all the places. Find your podcast, just type it in there. And got your little Apple phone and just type it in. Listen to us anywhere you go. I usually upload once or twice a week. So appreciate you guys so much. Keep your heads clear and your hearts full of God and have a safe week. May get a little rain towards the end of the week. So Indiana and Miami, I think.